Hi everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing this cranberry eye makeup look. I show you two lip options. One is this nude look and then the other one is this berry look. I think I prefer the nude, but they both go well with the eye look. Let's go ahead and get started with the old tape trick. So I use this when I want my eyeshadow to be precise. I want to get it done quick and I don't want to spend too much time on worrying about it being messy. It just makes it so easy. So first I'm going to go with my Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil, and this is in the color Granite. Now I have to say I think this color is actually too light for my brows. I think I need the darkest shade, so I should have gone one more darker. I do like this. I think this is better if you have thinner brows. I have particularly thick brows with like sparse patches, so I actually prefer the Dip Brow Pomade, but this is good for when I want to go for more of like a natural look, because the Dip Brow Pomade is really thick and that's going to give you a dramatic eyebrow look. So this is good for a more natural look, and I love that it has a spoolie on one end and the product on the other. Now for my oily eyelids, to make sure my eyeshadow lasts all day, I'm going to use the Urban Decay Primer Potion. Put that all over the lid. This stuff is great. I use it in almost all my makeup tutorials. It just helps your eyeshadow to stay on all day, or at least a little longer than it would if you didn't have that on. Now I'm going to go in with my Black Opal Concealer Stick, and I always use my finger to do this. It just helps to sharpen the brow, make it look a lot more crisp. I tried to use a brush, but nothing compares to just using my finger. I don't know, the heat from my finger just helps blend it out. I can get up right in there, right by the hairs. I don't know, it's weird. You think I would get a more precise application with a brush, but for this I always feel better using my finger. If you guys know of a good brush that I could use for this, let me know. For now, I just stick with the finger. That sounds bad. Now I'm going to go with my Lorac Black Skinny palette. I love this palette. I've talked about it a lot. I got it from Haute Look. I'll link Haute Look down below. I'm taking that brown color and I'm just putting it all over in the crease. And what's great is, remember, we have that tape on our eyes, so we can be as messy as we want. I'm just being quick, putting that in the crease and making sure I go all the way from the inner corner to the outer corner, going back and forth, kind of like windshield wiper motions, using my Sephora crease brush. Now I'm going into this limited edition package that I got. This is the Objects of Affection packet from MAC. I think it was 2 Christmases ago, and I'm going in with the color Heritage Rouge. I don't know if these were limited edition colors. If they were, I'll link something similar down below, but I think you can still get them. So I'm putting this kind of cranberry burgundy color all over the lid, making sure to kind of blend it into that crease color. Usually I don't want to blend things into that crease color because I want to blend it later, but I wanted to kind of get the blending process started, because you're going to see in this look we do a lot of blending because we don't want any harsh lines. So I'm just taking a flat brush and really packing that all over the lid. So I'm going all the way from the inner corner and then I'm dragging it all the way out to that tape. And don't worry if you get some in the crease, because we kind of wanted those to blend together so that the cranberry color kind of blends into the brown. So I'm just blending. You'll see there's a lot of blending in this video. So now I'm going back in with that crease brush and I'm just blending everything together, making sure that the brown blends with the cranberry and that even it kind of blends in with that concealer that I put under the brow. And it's great, you know, because the tape just makes sure that everything is sharp. Now I'm going back into that Lorac Skinny palette. I'm going to take that black color because I kind of wanted to deepen up the outer corner. So I'm putting it a little bit in the crease, and then I'm going to focus on blending it only in the outer V. So I'm taking it halfway in the crease. I'm using that same crease brush that I used for the brown shade. So there's still some brown color on that. So these are all going to be seamlessly blend together, and we're not going to have any harsh lines. And keep on blending. I think for this one I actually switched to the MAC 217 brush. I really need a new one of these. I've had that brush I think for 5 years. It's time to get a new one, but I love it. It's my tried and true. Now I'm going in with the Stila Magnificent Metals, and I can't remember the name of this one. It's the gold shade. I'll link it down below. I love this stuff. It is a little difficult to put on because it's not like a shadow. It's more like a flaky, creamy product. I don't know how to explain it. It's just beautiful, but it can be a little tricky to put on because it's literally like putting kind of like flaky, think of like flaky gel eyeshadow. That's kind of what it's like. So I like to best apply it with my finger. Sometimes I like to apply it damp if I really want it to be sparkly. I love that stuff. Again, I'm going to go back into the crease and make sure everything is blended. So I'm still taking that Sephora crease brush that we used to put on. Actually, no, I'm using a Morphe brush now. Nope, that's the MAC 217. My God, so many brushes, you get confused. So I'm using that MAC 217 brush just to make sure everything's blended out. And you can see that that Stila just added a pop of color to the center of the eye. Now I'm going to go in with this really pretty shimmer. This is Whisper Pink from that same limited edition MAC palette. And I'm putting that on the inner corner, and this stuff is bright. I went way overboard. You can see my face. I'm like, whoa. I did not realize how bright that was because I just really wanted to open up the eye. So I'm putting that on the inner corner, and I just used my finger to clean it up because I did put a little too much on the lower lash line, but I really think it helps to open up the eye and make it just look more awake and brings attention to the eye. So now that we've got that on, it's time to remove the tape, and let's go in with liner. I'm using my favorite liner at the moment. This is Mika Beauty or Mika Beauty. I love this liner. I got it in a boxy charm. It's just so creamy, goes on so smooth, and look at how dark that is. It's just awesome. I love it, and it's so long wearing. It just makes doing your liner so easy. Definitely recommend. I've only been able to find it online. I've never seen this brand in stores, but highly recommend it. It just makes putting on your liner so easy. So you can see when I do my liner, I do pull my eye taut just so that I can get a precise line. I know they say you're not supposed to do that, but it just makes, oops, sorry, that's my phone. It just makes it so much easier. Now I'm going in with my favorite Huda Beauty lashes, and those were number 9 Carmen. I wasn't even going to show you putting those on. These are thick, they're full volume, they're difficult to put on. Do not recommend those for beginners, but I love them. So now I'm priming my face with the Cover FX primer because I'm super oily and it helps fight acne. Going in with my Illamasqua foundation. I actually did a full first impressions video on this foundation. I'll link that down below. I love this foundation. It is not meant for oily skin. So if you have oily skin, you have to use a mattifying primer for this stuff, or else you will be oily within 20 minutes. It's great, it's full coverage, but it's just not meant for oily skin. But I just love it so much that I just slap on a lot of primer and I still put it on. Alright, so we've got that on. So now I'm going to use, I can't remember what concealer I used. I'll link it down below. It was either MAC or LA Girl. I believe it's LA Girl. Putting that under the eyes, down the chin, and I'm going to use my Real Techniques sponge to blend that out. I really like this sponge. I don't know if I like it as much as the Beauty Blender, but I do like it because it has a pointed edge and a straight edge on the other end. So I like them both. They're both pretty good. So I'm just going to use that to blend it out. I don't want to go too crazy on the face, so I'm not going to do baking or anything. I'm going to take my, I think this is the Black Opal foundation stick, and I am going to contour the nose. I always contour the nose. I don't always contour my whole face just because that's a lot for me to do all the time, but I always contour my nose. I just like the way it looks. I feel like it makes my face look thinner because I have a very round face, so it's nice to do that. I'm going into my e.l.f. blush palette, and this is the e.l.f. Dark palette. I love this palette, highly recommend it. I'm just going to add that nice rosy color onto the cheeks, and we're going to go in and highlight. And I am using the new Anastasia highlight palette, the Glow palette. I just wanted a nice natural highlight, and you can just see how that gives like a nice glow to the face. I love it. I will highlight forever. I've always been highlighting before it was even a thing, and I just love it. I just love the way it makes your face look. So now that we're done highlighting, we're going to go in and do the lower lash line, and this pigment is from that same MAC collection, and this one is called Rose. And I'm just doing that all over the lower lash line just to tie it in. I always suggest doing your lower lash line after you do your face makeup so that you are not getting face makeup on your lower lash line after you've already done it. I'm going to put some mascara on. This one's from CoverGirl. Now I'm going to go in with Matte the Balm Nude. I believe this is a matte lipstick. Matte velvet lipstick. I believe that's what they call it. I'll link it down below. I thought it really complemented the eye look. Just a nice neutral nude pink, and it did dry matte. So that's the finished look with that lip color. But then I thought, why not try like a berry lip color? So then I went in with this LA Girl glazed lip paint, and this one is in the color Tempted? Oh, Tempt. I think it's Tempt. Yep, this is the color Tempt. Now this stuff is very glossy, as you can see, very shiny. It smells and tastes like mint. It's a little difficult to put on, let me just warn you. I would suggest putting it on with a brush. But once you do finally get it on, if you love a good glossy lip, this stuff is awesome. So this is the final look. I hope you enjoy. Please subscribe and give it a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.